我不知道你们学了10周以后能不能听懂我的这个带有南方口音的中文，真的能听懂，你们就很厉害了。I think I have to switch into English. Otherwise, it is hard. People still struggle to understand. So what I'm saying is that after 10 weeks of intensive study in the Mandarin languages, it will be great. You can understand me speaking in Mandarin with a Southern accent. You know, I came from Guangdong, and my Mandarin is not really quite standard. It's just like the Oxford English, and also the Northern Ireland English is something like that. So I belong to the Northern Ireland country. I'm particularly pleased that we have a very high-profile student who is also our Pro-Vice-Chancellor. He used to be my manager, Professor Chris Rutt. He's going to give you a talk as well. But I'm very pleased for the director, Chinese director, Professor Dingping Guo. They have a very strong drive, and also the teachers of the Confucius Institute, whether they are teacher or volunteer, they are highly professional, dedicated, hardworking. And the evening class of this size, I heard that there are 6 classes, which is very impressive. We didn't have this kind of class before, and we started only 2 or 3 years ago. We advertised in the Nottingham Evening Post, and there's a very strong demand. Initially we had 1 class, and then 2 classes, and now have 6 classes. And each year we run once, we increase it into twice, now we increase it to 3 times. So this means there are more and more people who are interested in China. And the Confucius Institute is located in the School of Contemporary Chinese Study. We created a very good learning environment. You know, the nice building, the very state-of-art languages laboratory. So we provide a very wonderful physical space for people to learn. I want to say something about why we learn the Mandarin. Obviously, the Chinese population accounted for about 1/5 of the global population, which now stands for about 7.2 billion. So the people in China and the overseas Chinese put them together is about 20% of the global population. And all of them speak Chinese. So if you mix all the people together, randomly we pick up 1 from 5 that speak Chinese. Actually, it's more popular than English, you think about it. So why English become a global language is because of the economic power, initially from Britain, and later on the United States and many other Commonwealth countries. And because the Industrial Revolution in the United Kingdom, they have a big impact in the global economy, and everybody trying to learn from the Anglo-Saxon model. The United States is a very successful follower of this kind of model, not only culturally, politically, but also the business, what they do, and the innovation, higher education. So the English will actually have a very powerful impact all over the world. So everyone have to learn English. In China, if you don't learn English, you cannot go to the university. And each year, China recruited over 7 million people going through the university. You don't pass the English test, you can't go to the university. This is a must. But you're talking about the global balance of economy. There is a gradual shift from the west to the east. And the east is dominated by China and India, okay? Particularly China. On per capita basis, China is about 4 times as large as the Indian per capita GDP per capita. So China is in front of the emerging economy. And this is why China is relatively hotter among the emerging economy. And usually the languages follow the concept of business power, investment power, international trade. Last year, China overtook the United States to become the biggest trading nations, and certainly the biggest exporting nation. Now, China last year invested about $70 billion overseas. It took in 113 billion US. So in 5 years' time, China's outward capital flow is going to surpass the inward capital flow. This means China will become a net foreign investors. So this kind of investment can go to any country. When people talk about Chinese investment, they think China is seeking power, seeking resources. But if you look at the detailed breakdown, only 1/3 of China's investment is for resources. 2/3 are genuine market expansion and technology seeking. Orlando just visited Beijing today, and he immediately secured an order of 60 jumbo jet Airbus. In China, is such a situation. They say one single order for one head of state, you can order 60 Airbus. What kind of scale it is? No matter how different is the ideology, political differences, no matter how many criticisms that we may say that China is not yet quite a mature Western-style democracy, but the economic strengths you cannot ignore, because we live in the globalized, very integrated world. Yeah, and if you ignore that, we will lag behind. So today, in the front page of Financial Times, they put Orlando is running very fast, and Cameroon was watching and said, wow, Britain is losing out. So this gives you some thought. We have to come to have a better understanding of the different society in order to be running ahead of the game of international competition. Particularly at the financial crisis that our economy here in the UK is almost zero growth, and China still managed to have 7.8% last year. So this kind of shift of economic activity means that we have to understand China better. And learning the languages is a brick to knock the door of China, to understand the culture of China, to have a better trade and investment linkage with China. So I hope that you come here not just to learn, say hello, ni hao, 吃饭了吗, you should put your head a little bit deeper. And I actually told Chris that if the Pro-Vice-Chancellor can sing a Chinese song, and the most difficult Chinese song, this is the most difficult Chinese song I played. If the Pro-Vice-Chancellor who knew nothing about the Chinese languages and can stand up here to sing a song, that give you a good example. How busy he is. He still spare time to learn the languages and sing the song. That created, some sort of impetus for us to follow. And I recognize that Julia Sanders is going to become a provost in UNNC. So it is not only the senior manager in the university, but also people from different rank. They come to study this. And as a director of the Confucius Institute, I will welcome more and more people to study the languages and also study very well. Okay, thank you very much. I pass on to the.
所以感谢姚院长的精彩演讲。我们今天还很荣幸的请到了英国诺丁汉大学副校长克里斯·鲁德，下面有请克里斯为我们致辞。
Thank you, Professor, for that excellent speech. Also with us tonight is Professor Chris Wood, who's the Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Nottingham University, and who will also say some words for us now.
Welcome.
大家晚上好，欢迎来到 Jubilee Shariwan. Maybe you better translate so that the Chinese people can understand what you're saying. So welcome to Jubilee Campus. 我也是孔子学院的学生，学中文快1年半。So I studied here for 1.5 years with some excellent teachers, and 这里的老师都非常好，是不是？Teachers here really very high quality. 可是有时候技术 sometimes a little tricky. 今年老师说，今天我们不学汉语，我们不学汉字，我们学唱歌。So today she said, we're not going to study Chinese language, we're not going to study Chinese writing, we're going to study Chinese singing. 真的吗？可是老师不能唱歌。I can't sing. 我是教授，英国的教授，不能唱歌，不能跳舞，不能讲笑话 ，can't even tell jokes. 克里斯教授，对不起，老板说不唱歌就不学汉语。No singing songs, no Chinese lessons. 可是老师效果讲得都比我好。A little dog sings better than I do. 老师说，老板说你可以他一起唱歌 ，you can sing with him. 但是他选择的歌曲 ，but he gets to choose the song. 天哪！谢谢大家。
Thank you, Professor. Okay, so 克里斯呢也是我们孔子学院的学生，他今天晚上将和姚树杰院长有着非常精彩的演出，让我们拭目以待。
We are privileged that Professor Chris Wood is also a student in our Nottingham Confucius Institute. He has collaborated with Professor Yao to give us a wonderful performance at the end of the ceremony.
好，接下来是结业证书的颁发。
Now we will present the evening class students with the award certificate. First, let's welcome back Professor Chris Wood to give certification to the students in Beginners Level 1, Class 1.
Okay, so the first certificate is for Connor Byworth. And the next one is for Inda Morgan.
Inda is the wife of Professor Stephen Morgan, who is a professor. He's a professor and dean in the UNNC, Nottingham Confucius.
Next is Tracy Stenson Jukes. And William Chung. Next is Adam Clark. And next is Anne Quant. And John Samuels. And Andrea Uras. And then Andrea Paraha.